All right, this is Blanco County Commissioner Court calls to order on Friday, April 14th, 2023, 11 a.m. As Ms. Wallace call the roll.
Judge Gray.
Here.
Commissioner Weir.
Here.
Commissioner Eager. Commissioner Leeson.
Here.
Commissioner Riley.
Here. Will you join us with the pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I've got it. Everybody go.
Almighty God, you send your Son to proclaim your kingdom and to teach with authority. Anoint us with the power of your Spirit, that we too may bring good news to our family and friends, love to our community, and hope to our world. Through your Son, Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Okay, I see my public comment, which takes us to item 1 on the agenda. And as you will recall from our prior meeting on Tuesday, I indicated that it was just an error that I didn't get it on the meeting for Tuesday, which is the reason for our special meeting, so that we can move forward in a determined manner. And Steve Perry, is he on?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Is joining us here today, and he and I had a couple of conversations about the additional financing package for the Starkville project and really any of the spillover projects as well. And he's on the right-hand side of the handout. He's given 2 scenarios. One is with a certificate of obligation, and the other is with a tax note. As you can see by the bottom figure, the certificate of obligation actually winds up paying a little bit less money in the end, and the payments are spread out a little better and more manageable. I will tell you that when I first saw it, I was kind of eager to, let's do a tax note, get this thing paid for, but the more I look at it, I actually personally lean toward the certificate of obligation. That said, let me tell you that there's a bill in the House, there has been a bill in the House, legislative session after legislative session for a long time that would affect certificates of obligation. There's one there currently that hasn't really had much interest hearing-wise or otherwise for a while. There's a rumor that it might be picking up a little interest now. And the concern is that the language of that bill says it would be effective immediately upon passage if there's 2/3 vote. I think Steve will tell us that there's some skepticism whether there would be 2/3 vote anyway, or even if it will pass. But if we were to pick the certificate of obligation today, and he run with it and get us a financing package, but we run up against a bill that passes and becomes effective like the first part of June, he feels it would be easy enough to switch over to the tax note without a delay or without a lot of motion. So we're covered. Basically, either option is viable even today with the current legislative surrounding. Steve, do you want to say anything more about that?
No, Judge, that's a good summary. We have placed some tax notes recently. Given the short duration of those, we're finding that we're placing most of those with banks, and bank interest rates have gone up quite a bit. Given some of the issues with SVB Bank and Signature Bank and others, there's a bit of a skepticism to lend money. So with the certificate, we're more than likely going to offer that in a sale. So we'll have a broader universe of investors, and that's why we think we'll get a lower interest rate. And to your point about legislation, I ask those that are in the know pretty much every day as to those things. Bills have been left pending, so we don't do this, but anything can change. So, like you said, we can start with one plan of finance, and if we have to, we can change that as needed.
Something I forgot to mention that you had mentioned to me earlier for the commissioner's benefit, and they can see it, they look over on the left-hand half of the page, is you described your approach as very conservative, that you show some growth for the next fiscal year, a couple fiscal years out, but then you're super conservative and don't show anything for the stretch of years for payment purposes,
That's right.
which is just ultra conservative, right?
Yes, that's right. And we do that intentionally. I've always done that. We like to show that, your tax base levels off so that what we're doing is having ever increasing payments. Like I've said before, you're going to have other capital needs down the road, and we want to accommodate those. So my job is to make sure that I put you in a position to be able to afford things without having tax raises down the road whenever you have other needs.
And that first number on the growth rate, the 30.1, even though it's talking about fiscal year, well, it's talking about fiscal year ending in September of this year, 2023, that growth rate is already calculated, right? Because it's based on 22 valuations.
Correct. That was from 22 to 23, which is significant.
So that's not a projection, that's a given.
Correct.
So with that said, and based on your input, the leanings that I thought that you all had earlier, we need to pick a financing package to send Steve forward to go get us a proposal for financing with a true interest rate and a true package. And you need to pick from either the certificate of obligation or tax note. And that's where we are. If I understood you all that you were interested in moving forward to start that project and having funding to do so, and anything left over will help us with fairgrounds and other matters, just clean up.
So I make a motion to authorize Steve Perry with the company to secure additional financing for Starflight and other construction projects using the certificates of obligation that was presented. Also.
Commissioner Weir, seconds, discussion. Clear enough, Steve?
No, thank you. I appreciate you having this discussion that gets me moving forward. And so we'll get the ball rolling with your returns. As you know, there are some steps to get us there. So this will take us roughly 2 months to bring back something for action on the actual adoption of the certificates.
Okay. Well, we have funding in the meantime to continue moving forward. I don't think the contractor is planning on breaking ground until first part of June anyway. So I think all is good.
Great. That all sounds good.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Anybody want to move to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
Is there a second? Commissioner, discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries for adjournment. Thank you. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you all.